Hello everyone, welcome to the mob farm video. I know I said that I would upload 2 videos last week, and this was supposedly meant to cover up for the short video I did before, just the one from last week, but I actually got a bit tired and a bit sick. That's why I could not record another video, but it is here now. And after this, so tomorrow, I'm going to be uploading another video. I'm going to be uploading a video, and I'm going to keep it a surprise. I was about to tell you what it was going to be about, but it wouldn't be much fun, would it? So it's going to be coming up tomorrow, and I know I was supposed to put this one last week, but yeah, just things didn't go to plan according to how I wanted it to. Now this is just a clip of me showing you guys that if you're in survival, you would want to clear up space something like this, or what works best for most people is to make the mob farm on top of the ocean, but it is a bit hard to get everything according to the ocean, and you have to go pretty high up, but there is one thing that is a good side to the ocean, is that you can just jump off. You don't have to actually ladder your way down. Otherwise, here you can't really jump off, then you would take fall damage. And for demonstrational purposes, I'm not going to be actually making it here. I'm going to be doing it in a flat world, but mob rate spawning is really bad in the flat world. And I wouldn't expect you guys to make this in a flat world, because nobody really survives in a flat world. That's a bit strange. Anyways, you would also need to clear the grass as well if you're doing it on land. All of these steps are just cut off if you're on top of the ocean. But without further ado, let's just transition to the flat world. So when you make a flat world, it automatically turns off the trophies. That's because it expects you to be in creative for most of it. That is why it is not recommended to do it here. Of course, you wouldn't be able to play a survival world in a flat world. It does not have caves, structures, any of those things. But yeah, you just want to be careful that you don't accidentally set it too flat like mine. I did on purpose. And it's best if you also make it on hard difficulty. Hard difficulty just makes the mob drops way better than they are on normal or easy. Also, you get a chance of getting iron, chest plates, chainmail, all of those things if you do it in hard, because mobs spawn with armor. Now that we're in our flat world, we're going to start building. I'm going to start anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a specific spot, since this is in a flat world. We've talked about the normal world before. And the supplies you need are any building block, scaffolding, or water. Also, I would recommend that you get yourself at least 6 stacks of the building block. Now, for the scaffolding, you can use water instead. It's a bit hard to break it and get up. You need a slab and a chest plate. The slab can also be any block, but this is all that you're gonna need. The rest is like optional stuff for the AFK part, but we'll get to that later. You want to make a 2x2 hole in the ground and place a chest like this, 2 double chests. Then you want to add hoppers on the top, but first I would recommend making a little space around the chest, because it just looks better that way. I chose to put my slabs here. Now you can either do it like I am doing it, but I don't think this looks the best. I'm just gonna dig out this part as well and make it go all the way around. I think this might just look better than what I was going with before, and just a little spot like this makes it look a bit nicer, and the chests are a bit more accessible on the easy side. Now we're going to place the hoppers. The hoppers should link into the chests. Now this part got cut off, but you just need to shift click and place slabs on top of the hoppers. Then place a block on top of the hopper and then a block aside it and break this block. Now just make a border around this whole thing. It's going to be 4x4 in the end, but it just should be around it, not on top of it. Then you're just gonna see how you're gonna actually kill the mobs. I made a bit of a mistake here, so I'm gonna fix that. I think that wouldn't be best. You need to place slabs. You can't be lower to it because then skeletons can, I think, kill you. Creepers could blow up. That's not very good. Now what we have to do is from this block right here, we want to go up 20 blocks. In total, it's going to be 21 blocks high. 21 blocks is the level that zombies, skeletons, all of these things are one-shot kills, not dead. Because if they fall to death, they're not going to drop anything. So this is not automatic. You will have to go down and kill them with a sword. Just build up the blocks any way you would. This is why I said it's best if you do it in an ocean, because then you can fall off. But with the scaffolding, you'll have to either go like this all the way up and then scaffolding your way down like this. That does take an awful lot of time though. You will have to spend a lot of bamboos on scaffolding just to get down, and then when you're down, you'll have to break the scaffolding, and it's just a really messy process. It's just so much easier in the ocean. See, it gets everywhere. It even got inside my hopper. So, yeah, and it takes 20 scaffoldings to get up. 20 scaffoldings is a bit expensive. You might not have a bamboo farm. You know, not everyone does, but I'm going to continue with the speed time lapse. And once we're done, we're going to stretch out 8 blocks. Exactly 8 blocks. You do not want to mess this step up, because if you mess this up, then it's going to get all messy and it might just not work as great. It has to be 8 blocks because water travels 8 blocks across. That just means that your water is not going to go down the tunnel, it's going to stop and the mobs are going to fall down. Make sure to have 8 on each side. I chose to use the stone block specifically so then I could actually count my blocks if I think I've messed up. Now what we want to do is build a 2-block high border all the way around the main structure, and this should leave a 2-block wide little valley-ish thing for the mobs to go down in. Make sure it's 2 blocks. If you've messed up, then it could be more, but it should be 2 blocks on each side. Once you've done that, just make another layer like so, and make sure that it looks a bit like this. Now what we're gonna do is we need actually trapdoors. I forgot to add it in our materials, but we need trapdoors because when mobs walk over trapdoors, they think it's a block there, but they'll just fall down. You should probably know this by now because it's a pretty common thing. This is how these things actually work. This has to be on each side, both of them, for all 4 little tunnels. Just do that and we'll get on to our next step. Now that that's done, we need to make the actual flat platform where the mobs are gonna spawn. Make sure that these are full blocks, not slabs, because mobs do not spawn on top of slabs. And it should be an 8x8 technically we have to fill, but it's 9x9 total square like so. This will just be a normal platform. This is where the actual stuff is going to happen. Now in a flat world, slimes spawn at the bottom, which is gonna lower your rate of the actual mobs spawning inside. Then you're gonna have less results than I did. So if it's on top of an ocean though, only drowns spawn in there. Nothing else spawn there. So if it's a really big ocean, then bingo, you've got the best space for this. That means you're gonna have so much mob spawn, so much loot. It's gonna be amazing. That's why I recommend it on top of an ocean. Everyone recommends it on top of an ocean. But now I'm just gonna time lapse this through. This is a really boring process. This is probably the most boring thing we have to do. After that, we want to build another border around this 2 blocks high. If you're gonna make 2 stories though, then it has to be 3 blocks high. You're not gonna want to do what I'm gonna do for this, because then you're not gonna be able to make a second story. But once I'm done with this, I'll tell you what to do. We'll also time this through. Okay, so now we've done that. See how I'm going to place slabs on here? You're going to replace the slabs with full stone blocks if you're going to make a second layer. As I mentioned before, mobs do not spawn on top of slabs. This is going to have to be an entire block. Of course, you'll need more resources for that. You can always do this later on. You could always add it after you've built it, but instead of these slabs, you need to place a full block and then make a 2 block high wall again. Then you're gonna place slabs. Unless you want more, you could do this infinitely, however big you want it to be. Eventually, once this is done, if you're in survival, make sure to light up the platform underneath before you start building this, because then mobs are gonna start spawning as soon as you roof it in.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Once you have built this entire thing, you want to light up the ground underneath you. Also, light up the roof. I forgot to do that, but see how zombies, skeletons, creepers, skeletons on spiders. That's the first time I'm seeing this. And all of these things have spawned here. They shouldn't spawn. This is gonna make your mob farm less effective. This is one of the downsides of building this entire thing on land. I've said this like a million times, but please try your best to make this on top of an ocean, because then you're gonna get so much better results. But I will have to light this entire thing up because I've built it in this area, and I know I won't be able to light up the entire flat world. If you make this on land, there's one additional thing you'll have to do, and that is to light up the caves. This is probably the most boring and worst part of the entire thing. Whew. That's going to take a long time, trust me. And you know what I said, on the ocean. Now, we need to make a way of actually getting up to here, not just to check the farm itself, but to actually AFK. A big part of this entire thing is that it works really good if you are at least 100 blocks in the sky. That is why you may have seen that when people play Skyblock, their mob farms work so good, and that's because they're really high up in the sky, and then the mob farm works amazingly on that. Even if your Skyblock world isn't in the sky very high and it's just normal place, still there's nothing underneath it, so it makes it work way better. And this is just one downside to this on top of the ocean though. Okay, I'll stop mentioning the ocean now. It works better, trust me, it works way better. But we will have to test this farm before we make our AFK spot, and I'll show you how this works. I've spawned in a couple of zombies. We're gonna wait for them all to drop inside. See how that guy just fell. Now the other ones fell. Even the babies stay inside this, so it's really good. There he goes. There they all go. And now that they are all through, we can head out of here, and I'll show you how to kill them. We need a way of getting up and down in survival though, don't we? Then you can get any sword. Iron sword, stone sword, they're all one hit to anything, just I don't think wooden sword. One of them even dropped an iron piece. Wow. Sometimes the drops will fall out, but you can build a little platform around it. Maybe don't make this little indent that I made. That's probably making it fall out. But this is what we've got. Not the ender eye. We didn't get the ender eye or the gunpowder or anything like that. But we got an iron ingot and a couple of rotten flesh from that guy. And that was just a couple of zombies I spawned. Natural spawning zombies have so much more things attached to them. Now we need to scaffolding our way up to here. You could do it like this, or if you're using a water bucket, then you could just get up here using blocks and then make a water source down to it. Then you can just swim up and swim down. Now you can't place scaffoldings on slabs, so what we're gonna have to do is make a little platform on the side here, just a little platform here, and we'll make a beanstalk type thing of scaffolding all the way up to a couple hundred blocks. Not a couple hundred, but like 100, even 100 is fine. Now we're up here. We need to make a little room to AFK. I'll just do that real quick. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be like mine. I made mine a little bit over the top. You don't need this much space to actually be here. Just a space for a bed, maybe a chest, and maybe a little space to move around, but that's basically it. You don't need a really big, really fancy space. It can be anything.
Till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll
go. So now this place is done and dusted. We can get down and it's basically ready to AFK, but we still need to light up the ground underneath us. Make sure to have a bed, of course, with you. Maybe some food stock as well. I chose a barrel. It looks really cool. Barrels are recently added. Not that recently, of course. The 1.16 update has blown our mind. That's a really cool update. But we need some food. Also, I cannot find the cooked food section. It is just disappeared. I don't know where it is, but I think we'll have to just do it in the whole all search thing, because I swear I saw it before somewhere here, but now it's just not there. I don't know why they separate raw food in a different section from the cooked food. Even here, the raw food is right here, but the cooked food is nowhere to be seen. It's underneath all the spawn eggs, all the tridents, and the arrows. Then, boom. I chose a couple of stacks of steak. You can always just have one stack if you're gonna AFK for 1 hour. 1 hour is the best, because then the mobs despawn. We don't want them to despawn. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna get down there, and I'm gonna light this entire place up and make it look shiny. I'm going to be using torches. I'm going to be using way more than I should need to, but that's because I'm in creative. You can always add less torches, especially in the spot right here. This is the best spot for mobs to spawn. Best because it's so dark. That's why we need to light it up, because the best spot should be only our spawner that we've built. Nothing can compare to our spawner. Nothing should be as good as our spawner. Our spawner should be the best thing. Everything else should be shiny and beautiful around it. Not beautiful because this is so messy. You could use glowstone. I think it maybe does more than the torch does, but glowstone is a hard thing to find. And this 1.16 update has made nether survival so much harder, especially that gold is something you need to have. Otherwise, the piglins are out to get you. Now I've lit up this entire thing. I'm gonna get up here. This is so boring to get up, but we have to do it. We have to go 100 blocks into the sky. I may have made it a bit too tall, but that is okay. I'm looking at the coordinates and I made it 100 blocks. Make sure to do that too. Bedrock has so much easier coordinates. The F something screen, I don't know what it is, but that is so complicated. But now we're gonna get up here. We're almost there, and boom, we're in. Now that all that's left is to stop this rain because it's ugly. It's not even nighttime. You know, that's a bummer. Mobs spawn so much quicker during nighttime. I'm in creative. I have the cheats, so I'm gonna make it night. But you probably don't have the cheats because you're in your survival world. Don't use cheats, please. That just makes the world so much horrible. Also, I'm going to apologize real quick for one thing that happened is that PlayStation has a really bad recording system and it made my video go bad too because it cut out the main part. The main part that I wanted to show you guys. The whole thing with the mobs in 1 hour. I'm getting down here alright, but there's going to be a cut in this scene right here. And boom, I've already killed them. I don't know why this happened. I was myself when I was recording. I thought it's all recorded, but when I got to export it, it wasn't there. And I deleted the world as well, so that was a shame. I already had to record this thing twice, which is flaw. But now I've just expanded the whole lighting system. But I'm so sorry, guys, for the inconvenience. I've written down how many things I think there was in an hour, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe as it says on the screen, and have a good day. Goodbye.